Hello, my name is Nigelargriffiths. I work at IBM Power Systems in Europe, concentrating on AIX and Linux. This is a personal project rather than my day job at IBM, so it's best if you contact me at nigelargriffiths@hotmail.com. You can see the URL there for places to get all the information and files and downloads about this project. In this project, we have a nmon data collector on VIOS server, AIX and Linux. We push the data into InfluxDB and use Grafana to draw some beautiful performance graphs. In this session, we'll be looking at templates, which is where we change a dashboard, which looks at one particular machine and draws graphs for it, to templates, which has a pop-down menu and we can select different machines and use the same set of graphs to look at different machines. So here's our dashboard as we ended the last video. One little thing I actually want to change, which really annoys me, is that the utilization gets to 100%. So this bit of it in here will never be used. So we can actually change that. So I'll hit hover over and go an E. If we go to visualization and down in here, this is the y-axis. It's got auto for the minimum maximum. If we put in here 105. Now I don't use 100 because we'll find that the Linux utilizations can creep over 100%, a couple of percent. So that's what I use. And then we come out of here, you'll see where it got nearly 100% at the top. That looks a bit better to me. Now, in this thing, we've got SilverFire hard-coded here in the title. If we actually go into, say, this one, we can see we've got SilverFire and SilverFire hard-coded in here. So we want to be able to switch instantaneously to another server to have a look at the graphs for that server. And that's what we're going to do when we create a template. So let's go in here for the dashboard settings. So first of all, let's save our dashboard in there. And put in, that's the date in here. Okay, so now we're going to look at this dashboard settings. That brings up a whole bunch of interesting things in here. And what we're actually going to do is create a variable which will be used for the pop-up list. So we'll add a variable. Now we're going to put it in here. I'm going to put in AIX host in here. This means that I'm going to get a variable that will pop up a list of the AIX machines in our data set. Now I can leave these things as they are. In here, I'm choosing my data source. In here, I'm putting a query. Now this took quite a long time to work out, and I've actually had to copy an example in the end. So I've got show tags. These are the things that the injector adds into the numbers as we go in. One of them is it picks up the host name and use that as like this host tag. So this is actually saying use the tags which are named host, and this is in double quotes. And I want to limit it to just the hosts which are for AIX data. So the injector picks out the operating system, AIX, and so it uses a tag called OS. So this is the tag name in here, and this is the tag value. So this is a list of things that it wants for the show tags values with key. And this is a limitation, and you notice this is single quotes. That's pretty tricky. Now, when we get AIX data, of course the OS is AIX, but when we're using some data from the VIO server, well, that is AIX with the extra VIO server packages for the virtual disks and networks and things. So that's reported in as AIX as well. When it comes to Linux, though, of course, there's lots of variations with Linux, isn't there? There's Red Hat and SUSE and Ubuntu and all the CentOS and all those other free ones out there. So they will put all sorts of different names. So you can't just search on all of those and all variations that we'll ever see. So what I actually do is if I'm trying to create a Linux host list, what I actually do in here is say OS, and I make that a not equal to AIX, because that will be all the Linuxes in here. In this case, it's AIX, so it's equal to AIX. In here, we got sorting. It would nice to have the pop-up list in alphabetical order, so that's good. I just noticed there's a case insensitive version in here. I think host names are case insensitive anyway, so that'll be okay. And then if we scroll down in here, it's used this variable when I came out of this field to actually go and find that list, and here they all are. And yes, those are my AX images and a couple of VIOs that was thrown in. So we click add in there, and this is our list of variables, and here's the one we want. Now we can duplicate to make changes or delete it over here. So let's now go back to our dashboard. There's a bunch of changes we have to make now, rather than these are hard-coded in the labels. And if we go into this one, then we can see this is hard-coded in here. Now, if I click on here, it will say, would you like me to put your variable name in here? Now, it's also got these two things at the front, the slash and the caret sign, and a dollar slash in the back. This is to make sure that it's just the tag and there's nothing on the front or the back of it. We don't actually need that. We could put in $host if we want, but as it's there, we can just get it planted in for us. There's another one down here. Yeah, there's two variables in here, so they've got those two. Okay, and we can actually see this is the variable that's actually working already. This is our pop-down list. Maybe I should have showed you that, didn't I? Here's our SilverFire machine, and we were looking at blue. So you saw that graph change in here. If I change this back to silver, we'll get to what we happily had earlier on. So you can see this is working already. So I'll save that. Down in here, let's use the other methods. Silver, put in the AX host in there. We've got to go through every single graph we've created in here. So that's two. In this case, there's not too many of them. In this one, then we'll edit, and there's four of them here, isn't there? There's the user, system, weight, and the idle number. Okay, but we've also got this header up here, and so this is over here in general, and here we can put $AIX host, extra space, and then if we change it here, we'll see we're to SilverFire in the title as well as in the data. So let's go back to SilverFire, and I've added some more data into our database in here so that I can switch machines and get different graphs in here. So I've done that for Silver 3, and see I haven't got all the data in here for this particular machine, but it's got some, and the memory changed, and the gigahertz is slightly different. In fact, these are all on the same machine, so the megahertz, gigahertz numbers might actually very, very similar. Oh no, there's an LPAR here, Silver 4. This is on AX 6 instead of 7.1 and 7.2, and we can see there's a bit more. There's less free memory in this AX 6 version. If we go back to our original one, we get the full set of data as before. So that's it for creating templates. Now, if we create more and more graphs, we'll have to remember to put the $AX host in that place of a hard-coded host name. But apart from that, we can carry on building our graphs up and making it much more flexible. Now, I'm not sure if I've got other data in here for like the blue machine. Oh, yes, we've got some. Wow, we can see nearly all of the memory is in use, and this is just running a big internal website, for example. Lots of things going on our blue machine. And we may find some of the machines in here not having any data in them at all. Not having any data. They actually found something going on here for the memory use. Maybe it's just not on the screen here because we were looking at the last one possible, weren't we? Okay. I'm not sure if I've added the data for these two. I hope you see the point we're trying to get to. Of course, this notes in here hasn't got anything to do with hosts on the machine. But that is an interesting point, though, isn't it? Of course, now we'd have to put in the notes in here because we can flip between machines. I'd have to say, I need to add the disks for Silver 5 and Silver 3 or something in here because this is general now for lots of machines rather than a specific machine. I do like ending up with some decent graphs here. And perhaps we'll stretch that out to make it look much more interesting. Well, that's it for templates. Next time in part 7, we'll be looking at coping with variable numbers of resources. For example, different numbers of cores, disks, networks, and file systems. If we're in a template and we switch machines, but they have different numbers of resources, how do we cope with that? Well, it's pretty slick. Come back next time. If you'd like this video and you'd like some more of these, then give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to be informed when the next video is available.